Hey everyone, welcome to Power 365's Power Shorts. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at blending some model-driven functionality with some Canvas functionality using custom pages and the new command bar editor that we've been gifted by Microsoft in our model-driven app editor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap straight over to a solution that I've already created. I've added the accounts and contacts table, and I've created myself a model-driven app. I'm going to click into my model-driven app. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to create ourselves a custom page because we need to take the schema name of the custom page and utilize it in some JavaScript that I'm going to show shortly. So from here, I've got the ability to add page and I can click custom. Now, if you already have a custom page, you can add it here too. And in here, I'm just going to call this contacts pop-up and I'm going to click add. Now, if we imagine the scenario that we're going to be going through here, we need to ensure that if we're going to display this custom page pop-up on the main form of a record, that when the user is in the record, the ID of the record they've opened is passed into the custom page for us to be able to use things. So there is a parameter in the JavaScript that we can reference for that. And I'm going to show, like I said, I'm going to show the JavaScript in a second. However, inside the custom page, what we want to do is we want to target the Onstar property. And in here, we are going to set a variable, a var record ID, and we're going to do a lookup into contact, which I need to add as a data source, because this is the table that we're going to place this custom page on. So once that's added in, I'm going to look into contacts where my contact ID equals the GUID of the parameter record ID, which is what you'll see in the JavaScript in a second. And we close all of that off. Now, what that's allowing us to do is when this custom page is launched, it's going to look into contacts. It's going to take the record ID that we've passed in, look against the contact and bring back the relevant one, store it in a variable, which then allows us to, if we wanted to, place a label on the form. And we can then target that var record ID and I could bring through full name, for example. Just make it a bit bigger and we'll just increase the font size. So I'm going to save this for purpose of demonstration. You would go off now and build whatever app you needed to build. And this will allow you to increase the functionality of a model-driven form with user-driven process, which is really, really powerful in the apps that or the app landscape that we're now working within. So I'm just going to publish that quickly too. And then once I've published it, I'm going to go back, I'm going to leave here, and I'm going to jump over to the solutions again. Now, what I do need to do, in fact, I'm going to close this window because I need to come back here. And it's telling me I need to republish my model-driven app. So what I will do is I will save because I've added the custom page and I will publish. Now, if we jump over to the JavaScript, inside this JavaScript, there's a few things that we need to change. We've got the function that we're going to be referencing. It's a function onLoad. We're then going to be referencing a function which I've called PowerShortButton. You could call that whatever you want. We're then going to be setting a variable. We've got some other things going on, but we're going to be setting a variable. The ID is then we're going to strip the GUID out, but the variable that I want to concentrate on here is the pageInput. So we're targeting a custom page. This here is the schema name that we need to replace. So if I just put some X's in there, we're targeting the contact table and we're setting the record ID, that parameter that we used in our onStar property, we're targeting that with a thisId. So this is the parameter that we used. And this is how it knows which record we're talking about. We've then got the ability to start setting how we want this pop-up to look. We're utilizing width percentages and height percentages here, just in case that just in case the screen size changes, it's just easier to use the unit of percent. And then we've given it a title of contact viewer, and at the bottom we're then just running some xrm navigation. So I need to find this schema name, and to do so, I need to go over to, now that's published, I need to go into my solution, and I need to have a look at this contact pop-up. It's just appeared. Into my solution. Just decided to refresh my environments. Into my solutions. And then I can have a look at here, the schema name of this contact pop-up custom page that we've just created. So this is P365 contact pop-up 77B43. See how good my memory is. So it's P365 contact pop-up 77543B. No, that's definitely not what it is. 77B43. 77B43. Contact pop-up 77B43. So that goes in here. Now I need to download this. And I need to rename this. You're not going to be able to see this because it's on. I dread to think what else you would see. So in here, I'm then going to call this contact pop-up button.javascript, and I'm going to save it. I'm then going to pop over into my solution. I'm going to open my model-driven app. I'm going to add the web resource from the command bar itself, just to keep everything tidy for the purpose of demonstration. So I've got my contact. This is the table we're going to be targeting. I'm going to edit the command bar using the ellipsis. And I'm going to be editing the main form command bar. This is the one that the user sees once they've clicked into a record. So in here, I can see all the buttons that are available, and I can click new, and I can click command. Now I'm going to call this view record as a label. I could add an icon if I wanted to add an icon. I'm going to run some JavaScript, and I'm going to click add library, and I'm going to click new web resource. I'm going to choose file. I'm going to upload that file that I just downloaded. I'm going to call it contact pop-up button, and I'll give that the schema name too. We don't need to worry about the language in the advanced options, and I'm going to click save and publish. That's going to add this web resource into my solution, and that web resource is the JavaScript that we can make available to you in the description. And then I'm going to search here for P365, and I've got my contact pop-up button here. I'm going to add that in. Now, if we remember the function that we're targeting, the function we're targeting is this one, PowerShortButton. So I'm going to copy and paste that so I don't get it wrong, and I'm going to add a parameter of primary control, just so that we can pass what we need to pass. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save and publish. And I'm going to click play. Now, because we published the app earlier, we can see that the contact pop-up is showing on our navigation. It is telling me we're being updated with a new version. So I'm going to do a hard refresh, Control-Shift and R, Command-Shift and R for Mac. And I'm going to go into contacts. I'm going to open Tom Moore. And once the command bar is loaded, we'll then be able to see View Record as a button. And if I click View Record, my custom page is opened, and it's pulled through that record of Tom Moore for me. Easy as that. You'd obviously now go ahead and build that custom page however you want, which you can do so nice and easily by coming back into your solution, and you can now edit that custom page as you would a normal Canvas app with whatever you need to do on it. If you've got any questions, let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next episode.